This is a quick demonstration of the features of build 17 of my AutoCAD to Screen and Machine Center plugin. After installing the plugin, there's nothing different whatsoever until it's activated. It's activated by issuing the S2M init command, after which time certain types of entities will have additional properties in the properties bar and additional menu items in the right-click menu. We're going to tell it that all of these geometries are the outlines of individual parts. Anything within the boundaries of that part will be considered either information or an operation. The parts have their thickness set as the material thickness, and the individual operations have their depth of cut set as their thickness. Having set these as parts, you'll see that there are additional properties available. I can specify the tool to be used for the outline of the part. I can specify a name, but it will also grab any text within that boundary and assume that that's also meant to be the name if this is left blank. I can override the part quantity. I can tell it that I actually need 4 of these. I can supply a comment, which will print on the labeling. I can override the part size, which determines how the part is treated as far as onion skinning. I can set a grain match group manually. I can also set a grain match group simply by selecting 2 items, right-clicking, and telling it to grain match them. And you'll see that they've been given a grain match group 1. That means they'll be matched however they're laid out on screen. I could add an additional item simply by clicking on it and giving it a grain match of 1, but this is obviously too large to get out of a single sheet, so we're just going to cancel that. We can also have a material assigned here. So if I select those outlines again, for ease of selection, I'm going to group these. I can right-click and assign them a material. I can select what version of Cabinet Vision I'm working from. I can select the material. Operations are simply geometry that are inside the boundaries of the part or extending beyond it but passing through. Their depth of cut's the thickness, and in this case we've specified their tool by their layer name, but we can tell it that it's an operation, and we can assign the tool from here if we want to. I'm sorry, I meant operation. Again, we can assign the tool, we can control which side of the path the tool is on, and we can control the sequencing, whether it's cut before or after the part. Because this person who laid these out went ahead and used the layer to specify the tool, we don't need to. Circles will be either drilled or routed, depending on whether there's a tool available. When I right-click on here, I can output this, telling it that I'm looking at the face of the part, of the material, or the back of the material. Sometimes you'll have items with machining on either side, and so you simply draw them and tell them which way it is. You can output both together. You'll see it's telling me that all of the selected parts already have materials. If that wasn't true, I would be prompted here to select a material for just those items that don't. You'll see that it's colored the geometry. This lets us know which things it interpreted. So it ignored these pieces of geometry because they have no thickness. To remove this coloring, we just issue the S2M clear command. From here, we can empty the Screen and Machine Center and add only these parts, or we can add these parts to whatever's already in there. We're going to empty and add. You'll see it opens the Screen and Machine Center. although it's opened on my other monitor. From here, we can set our shape nesting to true shape. We can nest our parts. And you can see it has ignored my grain matching because we've told it that this doesn't have a grain. If we tell it that it does have a grain, and just for ease of use here, we're going to restrict the rotation to 90 degrees. It'll be a little quicker. You'll see these parts spacing has been kept just as it was in the sheet. So from here we can simulate our output, or we can actually create our code. Just normal screen and machine center operations from this point on out.